Alright, here we go with the Rheinmetall-Borsig Waffenträger. For the time being, I'm just gonna call it Borsig, because that's the easiest way to shorten it up. Now, as you can see, it's pretty much a lot of Waffenträgers here, but also a good amount of other tanks, so it's pretty decent. Tier 8 in the Tier 10 battle is always good to have that. It shows a lot of potential. This tank can equip the 128mm, the same gun as the Tiger, which I'm currently equipping, and also can equip the 150mm. Do we have one? Yeah, there we go. That's the 150mm. Can't really see it right now, but that it is. It's the same gun as, I think it's a little bit different, but basically the same gun as the 100 gun. So there you go. 128mm, pretty decent. Good amount of damage, as you all know, good reload, pretty average gun on all terms, like good at everything. For the tank itself, when you first play it, like when you compare it to the Alien turret on the VT E100, it looks small. And then you turn around and see an IS-7 behind you, and then you realize it's smaller, but not really that small. Don't rely on its camera. Every time I relied on the camera on this tank, I got spotted easily. So you might not want to do that. Rely on its maneuverability and stay away from the enemy as far as you can. That's what I would say. For the maneuverability, it's pretty good. It's pretty fast. Its turn speed is awesome for a Tier 8 tank destroyer. Like even compared to the Panther 2, I think it's a little bit better. Stats-wise, might be worse or the same levels, but it feels better. Armor. Why do I even mention armor on these German tanks? They don't have any. Like any Waffenträger in the Waffenträger line, any tank, none of them have armor. None of them. They don't need that. They have guns. So it's a glass cannon, and it has a turret, 360 degrees, completely turnable. It looks awesome. It looks good too. My platoon mate had a lot of problems with getting hit and then the engine would be damaged. I didn't really get that. Like every time I got hit like that, and I died most of the times when that happened. So as you can see, running along with the Tier 10s here, seeing that the eastern flank is completely undermanned, so I'm going over there. At least go to the middle and try to support a little bit. There's only one TDR now, one heavy going there too. Accuracy on this gun, well, it's basically the 128. Seriously, if you ever played any German tank with this gun, you played this, you know how this gun fires. It's basically the same. 1150 hit points, pretty decent for a Tier 8 tank destroyer. As you can see, I'm trying to get some shots here through the middle, can't really aim at anything. Gun depression is bad. Like, I would say it's not Chinese bad, it's a little bit better than that. Ah, there we go, really nice shot on the 183. Might want to do this really quick. Let me just change the markers around. Health indicator, please. Vehicle model, please. And total HP. There we go. Now that's better. Who cares about the names anyway? As you can see, for some reason he doesn't have a fire extinguisher, dealing 1200 damage with one shot here. Really nice. That's some pretty good whaler. So trying to get another shot in. Obviously, he's not gonna come anytime soon. Now you want to be careful of artillery. With all the Waffenträger line tanks, they are. I've been one-hitted. Well, not myself, but I've seen people being one-hitted in their WTs by artillery. Not even only the T92, but like really Object 261, GW Type E. They will one-hit you if they hit you directly. They have a good chance of that. Now, as you can see here, dealing really good damage to that T57. There we go, another one. That looks awesome, like where the gun fires. However, situation. This is another thing that's really important. Situational awareness. You have no armor, you're really weak armor. Every hit you take will most likely be costing you hit points. So I saw that 183 come around the corner, and I just went and got the shit out of there, because that's not somewhere I want to be. Situational awareness, really important, like player skill you gotta have. There we go. That alien turret is just one giant weak spot. Don't even need to shoot it at the moment though. Ammunition wise, it has a good amount of ammunition. You don't really need to care about that. You'll probably never run out of ammunition. I'm using 12 APCR for the loads, in case I meet anything like a hold down mouse. That's about it. What else is there to say? Well, speed, as I mentioned before, is pretty good for Tier 8 tank destroyer. It's not Jagdpanther 2 levels in terms of speed, I think. I think the Jagdpanther 2 goes a little bit faster. But in terms of maneuverability, it's decent. I had a Badger trying to outcircle me, circle me to death. It didn't work. He couldn't. Aside from that, I would say it's a pretty decent tank. The Borsig is one of the tanks I'm probably gonna get, because it's just awesome. It plays really nicely, and it's a lot of fun to play too, especially with this gun. He's taking a pot shot, getting the last kill. Artillery's gonna die anytime soon. So, what you want to try to not happen is like what happened in this game. I wasn't hit a single time. I think the 183 aimed at me once, but that's about it. Nobody else ever aimed at me. That is what you want to have. You don't want people shooting you, because there's no armor here. And the engine might be, well, I haven't been set on fire, neither has my platoon mate in like 15 battles maybe. And, well, the engine doesn't seem to be prone to catch fire. It gets damaged easily, apparently, so you might want to try not to get hit. And obviously, there's a lot of high alpha tanks around at the moment, due to the Waffenträger line being tested out. But even so, let's say an IS-3 hits you, he's just gonna pen you everywhere he hits. The turret is nothing. Look at that. Look at how thin it is. You don't want to get hit there. The hull, it's nothing. There's no armor there. This is basically a field gun on tracks. So really, just never get hit. As you can see, equipment-wise, standard tank destroyer equipment. I don't really think you can use anything else. Camo on this thing seems to be meh. Not as good as you would think for something that looks so sleek and small in the first look, but then you realize it is not as small as you thought, and yeah. As for the 150mm gun, that gun is reliable too. I would use Heat and HE. HE mostly on the test server at the moment, because you can just hit the other Waffenträger line tanks and deal massive amounts of damage. Like shoot the turret, deal a fair damage. That happens a lot. Accuracy on the 150mm is okay, not great, but it's okay. It does the job. It gets the job done. And that's about it, really. The Rheinmetall-Borsig Waffenträger. It's a Waffenträger, it trägt Waffen. And it does that pretty nicely. Yeah. I would buy, I want this tank. So far all the Waffenträger tanks have been really appealing to me. Pretty decent tanks overall. So, see you next time.